Bonjour class. I wanted to go over adjective agreement because I know that it's something new for us as English speakers. We don't do this in English. So I thought this might be beneficial. I have also uploaded one YouTube video on the Google Classroom where someone else can explain it to you. But I'll go ahead and start. So basically what you need to know is that in French, adjectives, adjectives agree in gender and number. Okay, so what that means is gender. When we talk about gender, that means whether it is masculine or feminine. Okay, everything in French, every noun has gender. Okay, so we're not just talking about people. We are also talking about things and objects. So for example, a table would be la table, which would make it feminine. And computer, l'ordinateur, is masculine. So it would also get the masculine adjective endings, okay? And then whenever I talk about number, what that means is it singular or is it plural? Okay, singular, one person or one item, plural, two or more. All right, so whenever we look at adjectives, normally the main, okay, so we're gonna say, oh, not regular pattern is nothing in masculine, changes to E in the feminine. Okay, so an example of that would be, for example, Jacques est fort, but then if it's a girl, Sabine est forte. Alrighty, and then these are also regular patterns, but maybe we'll just say up here instead of regular, we'll put most common, okay? These are other regular patterns that we're gonna see next. Okay, one thing that you might see is IF in the masculine changes to IVE in the feminine. So again, as an example, we have Jacques est actif, but then when we change it for Sabine, who is a girl, Sabine est active. All right. Another one that you see a lot is EUX in the masculine changes to EUSE in the feminine. Okay, so let me give you an example of that. Jacques est sérieux et Sabine est sérieuse. Okay, that's a second one that's really common. In the worksheet that I gave you guys, you will see ER in the masculine. Why am I trying to spell masculine? It changes to E accent grave, ER, in the feminine. Okay, it does that. That's just a pronunciation reason why we add on the accent mark. But for example, if we said Jacques est cher, he is dear to us, I could say Sabine est chère with that extra E grave RE. Now, one other thing to look at is if the adjective already has an E, don't add another E, okay? So for example, if we have Jacques est vite, that's what I want, vite, he is fast. We will say Sabine est vite because it already has that E, okay? Now be careful. You may say maybe Jacques is old. Sorry. J'ai. All right, that right there with that accent mark does not count as an E, as a regular E. That is something different. So if you see that, and I don't think it's in the activity that you're doing, but you will need to change it for a girl. So you'll add on the extra E. All right, so this is how we make it masculine or feminine. okay? So the most common pattern, just to review, is nothing and it adds an E, okay? So like we have for and fort. Other patterns are IF to IVE, so active to active. EUX to EUSE, so sérieux, sérieuse. ER changes to E accent grave, RE, cher, cher. And then we just need to remember if it already has an E, we're not going to add anything to it, unless it's a fancy E with an accent mark. Okay, now let's talk about number. So number is just singular or plural, and it is super easy, okay? All you gotta do is just add S, okay? So, for example, if we have Jacques et Marc sont forts, okay? So I've got my masculine right here, has nothing, so I'm gonna add an S. Okay, so this would be masculine, plural. Now, if we have, so remember it has to be gender and number. So if we have Sabine et Julie sont forts, okay, this is our just plain, we've done nothing. Now it's two girls, so we have to make it feminine. For doesn't have anything, none of these. It doesn't have IF, EUX, or ER. So we're going to add an E. And then because it's plural, we add an S. Okay, so that would be feminine, plural. If the adjective ends in either X or S, do not add anything. Okay, so that would be, for example, if we have Jacques et Marc sont sérieux, we're not going to put an S. See how ridiculous that looks? We're just going to leave it like that. Same thing if we wanted to say Sabine et Julie sont mauvaises. Oh, wait. That one we would. So that one would be mauvaise. We do have to add it if it's feminine because we're adding on that extra E. Now, if I did this for Jacques et Marc sont mauvais, I'm not going to add anything there because it ends in an S for that masculine singular. Okay. So I wanted to do a few examples for you. So let's look at this. If we have Jacques est fort créatif, sorry, généreux, let's find one more. We'll say âgé et we'll say cher. Oh, cher. Okay, let's look at how we would change this for each. So now we've got Sabine, and she's feminine and singular. So we've got a for. I need to add an E because it has nothing in the masculine. Créatif, the IF becomes IVE. Généreux, the EUX becomes EUSE. Âgé, I have that fancy E, so I'm going to add another one. Oh, let's put in vite up here too, so we can get every single one of those examples. Vite, don't add anything. A cher. Okay, so that's just an example of every single one of those. So you can see each type. I'll show you as well with Jacques et Marc sont forts, créatifs, généreux, âgés, vite, et cher. Okay, so this is my masculine plural. So here I've added an S, S. I didn't add anything here because it ends in an X, and the rest I added an S. And if we look at it as Sabine et Julie sont fortes, créatives, généreuses, so long, âgées, vite, et cher. So here I just added in E, or I just added an S to every single one of these adjectives up here because it became feminine and plural. So when you're doing your assignment that you guys have for this week, I'm gonna pull mine up beside me so I can see it. So the first part of yours, you are just changing the adjective into from the masculine singular to feminine singular. So exercise A, we are changing adjective to feminine singular. Okay, so let's look at number one. We have commun. Okay, what I would do is I would look up here and see if it matches any of these right here. So we had commun, it ends in a UN. That is not EF or IF, sorry, EUX, ER, or an E. So it's going to come back to this most common pattern. Okay, so all we're going to have to do down here is add an E. That's it. Okay, exercise B. It's a little bit more challenging, but you can do it. What you have to do is write the correct form based on the gender and number of the noun being described. Sounds like a lot. But what I'm going to show you guys, so on your page, I went ahead and told you il, and I'm just going to give you a little cheat code here. So if it's il, like this, it's going to be masculine and singular. If it is elle, feminine, singular. Il, like that, with an S, is going to be masculine, plural. And then L with an S is going to be feminine, plural. So every single one, every single adjective on exercise B, for some reason I can't type, exercise B is given in the masculine singular form. Okay, so it's giving you that base form. So let's look at numbers 1, and we'll look at 1, 2, and 3 so that we can get a few in there. So number 1, we have grand, and it says le garçon est, and it has this little blank. All right. I've also told you that le garçon is il. Okay. So if we look at il, il is masculine singular. Okay. Now this is already given to us in masculine singular. So here we're just going to say grand. Number 2. Turn off my highlight. Number 2, it gives us mauvais, bad. And we've got ils sont, sorry, ils ne sont pas, they are not. And we want to put in mauvais. All right, so we've got this il, ILS, and that is going to be, if we look up here, we want masculine plural. So normally when we have something plural, we just add on an S. Now mauvais already has an S. So what we're going to do is we're just going to copy that one down. Okay. This is why I wanted to show you multiple examples so that you can see one that has to change. So on number 3, we have laid. So mean, that means ugly. Oh, sont-elles? We want to say laid. So this L, if we look up here, it is feminine and plural. So we've got laid. It does not end in any of those unique ones, so it's going to follow our common pattern. So it's going to add an E for its gender. And then, because it's plural, we add on an S. Okay? So hopefully this has been helpful. I hope that you tune in and you watch this. And if you have any questions, just let me know. Thanks.